Welcome to the GAA Centre of Excellence at Abbotstown. And this is an unusual one for me. My co-commentator is actually out there in the middle. There he is. He'll be over with us in a minute. That's Damien Coleman, Connacht Hurling Games manager, and obviously invested in these competitions. The Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge today is the Corn Michael Hogan Cup final, and he's a great supporter of this competition. He's seen the benefit of it, and his Galway team is going to play Tipperary, and that is the second final we have on a live stream for you today. Thanks to Electric Ireland and the GAA for making these games available. We're looking forward to a cracking game between these talented groups of players. Game starts at 2:15, so only a few minutes away, and already we have a big audience online, so I can tell there's a lot of interest in this game. A lot of people want to see how this game is going to pan out. We are going to give you the teams, and then we're going to get straight into the action. So we'll start with the Galway team. In goals we have Mark Grealish from Carnmore, and the same club is Dean Spellman, the captain, at full-back. So two from that club right at the back there. Then you have the likes of Stephen Kelly from Athenry. Midfield partnership is Sean Duggan from Turlockmore and Niall Feeney, who is also Carnmore. And then you have a few Climber men in there like Brian Horan at centre half forward, and at full forward it's Ryan Rabbit. Manager is Damien Curley. I did sort of credit the team there to Damien Coleman. Well, he's the overall hurling games manager in Connacht. Let's go on now and look at Tipperary. Their management, well, they've Aidan Stakelham and Damien Ryan, John Ryan, Kevin Halley, Paddy Malone and Andy Ryan, and their team is lined out as such. Their vice captain is Jim Ryan at number 6, and their captain is at number 13. That's Daniel Rossiter. They have David McGrath at full forward from Cashel, King, Cormacks, and a few others from that club like Joey Davis at fullback and Anthony Walsh at number 12. And their midfield partnership is Kieran Grace and James Doyle. And watch out for a famous name at number 5, Owen Larkin from Rosscray. So those the teams, and this the setting. The sun just has gone in for a moment, but it's trying its best to stay out. It's also very windy here. When I was down at the pitch there a little while ago doing interviews, it was very, very breezy, and it goes one way and then the other, talking to the players who were involved in the game a little bit earlier. So it could go one way for you and the next minute against you. It's blustery, I think, going in all sorts of different directions, but hurlers will cope with that. And we are now going to get our co-commentator set up for the game, and that is Damien Coleman, who's coming over to join us now. So almost ready for the start. And Damien, our first shot of the live stream was you out on the pitch here, and I was saying it's a bit unusual for me for the co-com to be out invested in this game, but we totally understand you're Connacht Hurling Games development manager as well, so you're out there and you have a very strong interest not just in this competition but in that particular team.
Oh, absolutely. That's our minor B panel, Jerome, in Galway this year, and they're on the cusp of a wave here now, reaching the All-Ireland final, and we'd have big hopes there for lots of those lads to go forward and be future senior hurlers in the county as well. So every word of encouragement is important, I suppose.
And this competition is very important for them then as well. If they're the B squad, they want to aim at the A squad, and what they then need, I suppose, is games at that good level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we got tested there in earlier rounds against Limerick and Clare in the group. Big test in a semi-final against Cork. We only got over that in extra time by a point. So these lads have got a lot of learning process into them already, and games brings the learning and the opportunities, and that's what the Celtic Challenge Cup gives us.
And we're about to get a game. The referee throws the slither in right at the start. The sunshine has come out for the start of the Corn Michael Hogan Cup final. It is Galway against Tipperary in their traditional colours. Earlier on we had things like Wicklow blue and Kildare lily whites, but this is Galway against Tipperary. Minor B panels effectively, and we have a big audience online for this game wanting to see it. That's Owen Larkin, number 5. Now, I said at the start it's a famous name. It's obviously not the Owen Larkin that many people will know, but it's another Owen Larkin out there from Rosscray. Good catch to start, and a good effort at a score, and what a score to start the game. My goodness, that's a sign of intent there, and a sign of the quality that is in these teams, and you would expect that, of course, and that's maybe why there's a big audience online, and the game already continuing. No hanging around here. I think we're going to have a cracker here. The number 2 is Conor Fahy from Galway, but the ball goes over the end line on the far side, or the sideline on the far side. It's going to be a tip ball, but is that a sign of intent of what we're going to have here, Damien?
Yeah, look at young Robbie Ryan. He's a player of note there from Holy Cross. We would have known about young Robbie there coming into the game, and he's opened up there very positively for Tip.
Yeah, lovely score. But now, what can we expect next from this game? In the last game, with lots of great skills, pulling on the ground even. There was a brilliant goal. There was another batted goal. There was great catches all over the place. What are we going to get this time? Well, that ball transferred all the way down in the sea already there. An extra Galway man back there. That was the same in the first game. Tactically, they all seem to like to put an extra man in there. But it's one thing putting a man in there, and another thing stopping the opposition. And again, the ball immediately into play, and the goalkeeper, Mark Grealish from Carnmore, comes out to get involved, and he knows where he's going with it. He's going into the right corner off the attack. Batted down though, and Tipperary replicating the tactic with an extra player back there as well. But this is the full forward. This is Ryan Rabbit, and now this is Colin Coonahan from Claren Bridge, and he's storming through. He's got goal on his mind, hasn't he? Gets deflected, tries to get another go at it, but it's snuffed out there by the Tipperary defence. The danger was there though. They're playing with the luminous green ball there, which helps, although it's not exactly dark yet. The sun is out. Good lively start to this game, good tempo. They're battling for it down on the end line, and Tipperary trying to close their lines, or clear their lines, but 3 men from Galway coming in to converge there, but still they managed to get away. This comes out to the centre half back, the vice captain, that's Jim Ryan for Tipperary. But there is the sweeper, Conor Fahy, sitting in there. I think he's a sweeper. There certainly is loose there in that defensive area. Number 14 for Galway there, Ryan Rabbit. Referee is giving advantage, I think. He's signalling to play on. This is Coonahan. This off the left side, that's a decent effort, but it's just gone to the left and it's gone wide. And I think I saw a substitute out there, Damien, as well. I'm just trying to check who it is. You probably know quicker than me. Is it 18 in for Galway? Or he's not a substitute actually if he's starting, but he was named in the subs and he's started the game. We'll pick that up as we go on there. But the ball dropping in front of the stand here, and that always gets them involved a little bit more, and that's a lovely pass forward. And it's reached number 11, Robbie Ryan. Robbie comes back, gives it to James Doyle. Now it comes back to the man who started it, and that's a brilliant effort from distance, and it's drifted as it just gone to the right. Yeah, that happened in the first game too. It was just a little bit unlucky sometimes when the wind just catches it a little bit there, but that was a really good effort, and it was the number 17, Bill Flanagan, who has started the game for Tipperary. Good play from him. Here he is again, Flanagan. Feeds it back out, and that's a lovely ball, just drilled low down the right hand side. It's well done again by Robbie Ryan. He's proving a handful. He gives it back out to Flanagan, but the referee says that was a throw.
I think he got a bit of encouragement from the Galway management there as well, Jerome.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. And the other sub I've spotted actually is Shane Buckley, 18 for Tipperary. He's in from the start. Named in the subs, but starting the game. So 2 in there for Tipperary, 2 late changes. 17 and 18 are in there. This is Kieran Grace. He puts it in around the danger area. Galway will clear their lines with Stephen Kelly from Athenry. This is Niall Feeney. Good effort from distance, but going to the left and going wide. Game starting to settle down a wee bit, Damien.
Yeah, it is. It's a good battle there at the minute now. There's 2 sides really going at it. Tipperary are maintaining possession and using it a little bit better than Galway there at the minute. But there's nothing in it, Jerome.
Absolutely. Oh, lovely catch. That's Simon Blackmore from Ballingarry, and that's why Tipperary are speeding off in the attack. This is Grace. He's got 3 Galway men after him, so he needs to leave it off, and does so to David McGrath. And that one has gone to the right and wide. They fooled us a Give us a point after 10 seconds, and now they've hit about 4 wides between them.
Yeah, no, there has to be said there's a fair wind there as well, and it's a bit deceiving for the forward, so they'll get their range in time.
Yeah, it's a very, very tricky wind. I was down there earlier and I was talking to the players from the first game, and they were saying, well, it went one way and then another way, so very tricky and very strong as well. And a chill factor in it as well for the 4th of June, believe it or not. If you can't use your hurl, just kick it, and they have done that, and that's a free in for Tipperary.
Yeah, the advantage was worked very well there by the referee, in fairness.
Did you catch any of the first game? It was very entertaining. Wicklow and Kildare going at it, and some great scores taken and lots of great skills.
Oh, we did, and take huge pleasure in watching counties and developing hurling counties in the country playing at the highest level. You'd have to be very impressed with some of the Kildare players. Their support play, their team play, their overall cohesion, like they're very well coached there.
Well, you mentioned the coaches. The captain was telling me, or the player of the match, not player of the match, best and fairest award winner was telling me that they're encouraged to express themselves in whatever way they want to do it. So they do that first, and then it all comes after that.
Oh, it was very evident. Another point there for Tipperary, Jerome.
I mean, the young fella in the first half, he got the goals, and one he pulled on the ground. You don't see that often these days. No. And another one, it was batted out by the keeper, and he batted it straight back in the top corner. Fantastic stuff.
Very important skill in hurling that's hugely neglected, Jerome.
You must be a traditionalist as well then.
I absolutely am. I love the Offaly teams in the 80s. I think hurling hasn't changed that much that we can't be moving the ball early and fast.
But you don't see it. I mean, that was for a goal, but you don't even see boys pulling on it much around the pitch anymore.
You'd see lads now at inter-county level, the highest level, and you know the ground shot is on there from 15 yards out, and they're not able to take the shot because it's just not practiced. But Seamus Canlan has done it a lot with Tipperary over the years, and you just say, why aren't we all following that?
Is it maybe frowned upon by some of the top coaches now because it's not a sure way of keeping possession?
Yeah, it's all possession orientated now, playing through the lines, and the whole thing has evolved, but I'm not sure it has evolved for the best. I think all the skills should be practiced and utilised in all the games, to be very honest. And ground hurling is a skill that we should get back to, and doubling on a ball is a skill that we should get back to.
One of the best goals I've ever seen was Ursula Jacob in an All-Ireland final for Wexford about 10 years ago, and she pulled in one and put it in the top corner, the opposite top corner, and it was just an unbelievable goal, and one that always sticks in the mind. So when it's done right, it's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
This fella Flanagan is pretty good. He nearly got a point there, but it just dropped a little bit short. But wearing 17 and playing really well for Tipperary.
My Carkey Boris club there, he's very strong hurler there now, and he's a lovely stroke off his right side. It's a very good cut.
That's a lovely cut, isn't it? Of
young Tyler Earls from Sarsfields.
Yeah, the number 4 for Galway there. And would all these lads have aspirations? Well, they will have aspirations of getting to the A team, but to them, I'm sure a B team at minor level on Galway is a huge achievement as well.
Massive, and previous years we've had 2 and 3 squads in the Celtic Challenge, but just this year we went with one after COVID to tease the waters again and see where we were at. But we were kind of happy we went with the one squad this year, based on that 60 players in development at minor. Fergal Healy will have the top 30, and then Damien Curley and his management team get the rest. So we'll see if the age grade at special convention there changes in October to 19. That'll change the whole landscape on the Celtic Challenge. That'll make this competition a sought after competition by all the A counties. I'd expect 2 and 3 squads from the A counties in 2023 if minor goes to 17.
I'd say you get a kick out of lads from this sort of squad making it in the next couple of years more than anything.
Oh, absolutely. And
the Tiernan Killeens.
Yeah, the Tiernan Killeens, and young Ryan Rabbit there, he's full forward from the Turlough Club. He hadn't been making academy squads at 14, 15 and 16, and now at 17 he's coming at the right time, making a Celtic Challenge Cup squad. So the future is bright. Young Morrissey there playing cornerback for us from Sarsfields in the senior game of the Leinster final later on tonight. He was an under 16B player in Galway, when he was that age, and he's probably one of the best cornerbacks in the country presently at adult senior. So the development does work, Jerome. It's very important and we can't neglect it.
Absolutely. I see 19 out there as well for Tipperary. Kieran Purcell. So I think that's 17, 18 and 19 all out there for Tipperary. Those changes from the starting lineup that we gave you earlier on.
And young Colin Coonahan there, he had a few shots. He's number 12 there. His younger brother, actually, Dara, is cornerback on the current minor squad. So there's lots of hurling in that household. But Colin had injuries there over time, but he's getting them right now, and hopefully he has a good hour here today.
That one's dropping a little bit short, not for the first time. The defence having to deal with that, and they deal with it and get a free out as well.
Yeah, Dara Mannion there. Dara's a supreme athlete there at the high level with Irish athletics as well, so we've a good man at 6.
I get the impression as well that these young lads love the fact that they're playing in a real proper game with their county as well, even though, you know, you have to do away with the tag. We probably shouldn't say B.
Yeah, look, I think go back to the GA values. Like, one of our main values is inclusivity and respect. So this Celtic Challenge Cup, you know, ticks the box on those two values in our association, giving young fellas a chance. Like, physically and psychologically, they just mightn't be ready at 16 and 17. But now through this vehicle, the Celtic Challenge Cup, they get an opportunity to play games, as you said earlier. Games opportunities affords them further development. And who's to say in 3 years' time at under 20 or 2 years' time at under 19, if it goes that way, you know, that they won't be on the A squad proper. They just need time.
Absolutely. Some lads need a bit more time than others, and that's fine. The player pathway is what it is all about, and a lot of the people already today have talked about little steps along the way, so it is steps along that path. And then there's a lovely line in the programme as well. It says changing the hurling landscape, and that's what it's trying to do overall as well. And there's an effort at a point. I think that was the number 14, David McGrath, who got that from Cashel King Cormacs. Lovely score, well taken as well, and that's another score for Tipperary, and after 13 minutes they lead 3 points to no score. Now the goalkeeper keen to come out again. Last time he did this, he drove it into the exact same area. Can Galway get it this time? They don't. That's Porrigo Dwyer, actually, the cornerback, clearing his lines, and then the 18 is Shane Buckley. Now, what can Tipperary do here? Can they get in behind? This is Flanagan, forced to come back out, and does so, and gives it to Rossiter, the captain of this Tipperary team. Gives it back to Flanagan, and Flanagan tries to burst through. They make a bit of a sandwich of him, but there's a chance, and I thought he might go for goal. Well, he went certainly for the crossbar. It went over, and he'll take his point, and that's 4-0 now for Tipperary, and this Galway team needs to just settle a little bit.
Yeah, they do, and they've had a few scoring opportunities there that they didn't convert. I think Mark Grealish there in goals is a great young fella, but he's hitting the ball into a congested area there where Tipperary are winning a lot of those aerial possessions. He'd probably be best served to spread it wide. Or
go short, maybe, because
absolutely.
Tipperary are dropping a man or two back, and they're letting them have possession there.
They have a very dominant centre back there in Jim Ryan from Holy Cross, so that's not the place to be hitting the ball.
I think he was maybe aiming for the corner. That's where he got the last time, but as you said earlier, with the wind, it's easier said than done. This is Robbie Ryan for Tipperary, causing lots of trouble, and he's going to get a free there. I think they're going to bring it back if he doesn't make too much progress, and it has been brought back.
Yeah, he's got his advantage there.
And just looking at the rest of the Galway team, you've got Ryan Rabbit at full forward, and as I say, you have a spread all throughout the county. You have Killimer, you have Sarsfields, you have Carnmore, you have Kenvara, Ballindereen, and I don't know how to pronounce that exactly.
Yeah, Ceylon. Yeah,
Ceylon.
So that's just outside Tuam there in North Galway. So there is a good spread of clubs, and it's evident there that the clubs are putting in a huge amount of work as the stakeholder as well. So it's lovely to get reward. Young Michael Curtin there from Kinvara, his dad played at minor and under 21 with the county, and his grandfather played in New York for years, and his auntie has 3 Camogie All-Stars, so there's a lot of hurling tradition in that house.
Well, you mentioned another family, but I think that trumps it. They go short all the time from the puck outs, and he usually gives it back to the keeper, but this time Conor Fahy is going on his own, and now Niall Feeney has it. This is better, but this is usually where their attack breaks down, and I think that was Coonahan there, just kind of muscled out of it.
Yeah, Tipperary have a wall there across the half back line, and they're very strong.
They are indeed, and that's why Galway haven't scored yet. This is Fahy. Fahy does well from Kilimer. No pulling out of that. Sends it high in there, but I think that's going to drop short into the keeper's arms, and James O'Dwyer says thank you very much. He's from Holy Cross Ballycahill, as are quite a number of the Tipperary lads. Now that's what you want from your defence. Get out in front, and he did that. That's good work by the captain, Dean Spellman.
Dean is a hugely committed player, Jerome. He does an awful lot of work off the field there to be right on the field. Very committed young fella.
Well, he's definitely shown leadership there when they need it. Now these high balls going in aren't really sticking for Galway so far, but here's Sean Newell forced to come back out, and Rapid is there outside the 45, and that's an ambitious one. Is it going to go over? It goes. Yeah. It does indeed. First score of the game for Galway. It was ambitious, but he knew exactly what he was doing, and they're on the scoreboard. 4 points to 1 for Tipperary, but they needed that, Damien.
Yeah, that'll build a bit of confidence now. Sometimes with young fellas there, 17 years of age, a few scores settles them, and that'll get them going now.
Took 16, nearly 17 minutes for that first score. This is Feeney. Again, the Tipperary defence standing firm and repelling most of the attacks, but it's going to be a free for Galway. Referee is Alan Lagrue. Having a word actually with a Tipperary player. Looks to be
young Blackmore, is it?
He's writing in his notebook as well, but I don't think he showed a card there.
I know he didn't do too much wrong now. He's just making sure he doesn't be so over enthusiastic the next time, Jerome, I think.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, Simon Blackmore, number 10 from Ballingarry, Tipperary. Now, the man over this is Killian O'Donovan.
Yeah, his first cousin there, Ben, is on the minor team. And his uncle Connor captained the Galway minor winning team in Crow Park back in the day.
You're a mine of information with these family connections. It's great.
Yeah. Connor O'Donovan, yeah, be an uncle of his.
From Liam Mellows.
That's right.
And where exactly is that club?
Galway City.
Galway starting to get their act together a little bit, and that's good, determined play as well by Cathal Penny from Oranmore Murray. Have I pronounced that correctly, or is it Murray?
No, Oranmore Murray, yeah.
Oranmore Murray, yeah, he did really well there, and that's why Coonahan has now got a chance. Surrounded though, and he ends up on the ground.
Yeah, Tipperary are very well organised, Jerome, in their defence.
Yeah, very strong players back there. And well organised, good structure. That's the basis for them, and that's why they've only conceded 1 point in the first 19 minutes. But Galway, you see, I've also got this fella Fahy sitting in here just to cut out that kind of ball, so they're both sort of replicating each other, but it's Tip who have their noses in front. So it was similar to the first game. A lot of good play around the middle. There's a nice effort at a score. Has he got that?
Yeah.
He has, you know. That's a lovely score. And
from Sean Duggan from Turlockmore.
Number 8 in the middle of the field with the nice luminous boots as well.
Yeah, stylish young fella, stylish hurler.
On and off the field.
He has it everywhere.
Yeah, in the first game with red boots and blue boots and all sorts of boots. This is Tyler Earls from Sarsfields. Trying to get into the corner looking for Curtin from Kinvara. Strong play by Pádraig O'Dwyer for Tipperary though. This is Grace. Gives it to Larkin. Larkin goes long and diagonal. Always a difficult one for the defenders, and the forwards love it. Oh, that's lovely skill from David McGrath. Goes for a score as well. And no, actually, he's just trying to play a pass in there. It's easy to misjudge those goals, particularly at that end, I always feel, if you're not used to playing here. Oh, they've given it away. They've given it back to Robbie Ryan. Robbie trying to get free. 2-3 Galway men in around there. Help is at hand. Help comes from Daniel Rossiter, the captain. Robbie Ryan again has it, and that is what you call persistence And an excellent score. The captain came to the rescue, and Ryan profited in the end, and that's a lovely score for them. And that is now Tipperary on 5 points and Galway 3. It's Galway's turn to try and respond. This is Feeney on his right side, but has it got the direction? It has, you know. I always find it hard to judge on that left-hand post. I thought it was going left, but no, that's another good score. And now we're getting a bit of a game. 21 minutes in, and it's 5-4.
He's very lively, Niall Feeney, there from Carnmore Club in the middle of the field. He's on a lot of ball.
And it was a minimum of effort, and I don't think he even looked. He just headed over from halfway almost. Excellent score.
Yeah, here he is again. He's available to his defence, he's available to his forwards, he's a link player in midfield, he's doing very well.
That's bounced nicely for Sean Newell. He's taken a go at it, but it's gone to the left a little bit short and a little bit left, so it remains 5 points to 4. 22nd minute. This game is flying by, which is always a sign of a good game.
I nearly roared in there, take him on, Sean, but I had to remember I'm standing beside you, Jerome.
You say what you like. I don't mind at all, and people won't mind at all. This is all about hurling.
I have to come back out of being a coach here now for an hour.
Tipperary's Kieran Grace first onto it, and this is Robbie Ryan again. He is causing so much trouble, but the referee's going to bring it back. I think he wanted more advantage, but there's a player down injured. Are you for Croke Park later on?
Oh, absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to the Leinster final for sure. But just as much so, I'm you know, as a hurling man, I'm looking forward to seeing Antrim and Kerry, and they're getting their day in the Joe McDonough. And Joe McDonough was a very good friend of ours in Galway and went to high levels in the association. His son Owen now is a doctor with the Galway senior team at the minute. So
Owen
McDonough, yeah. Owen was a former Galway hurler too at minor and 21 and that. But look, we'll go and honour Joe McDonough's trophy every year, so we will, regardless of who's in it. But the very best of luck to Antrim and Kerry.
It's a big day for them, and it's an important one for them for their development as well. I know Antrim are sending down a huge support as well.
Yeah, I think, Jerome, to be very fair, hurling have got it right for years nationally with the structure, you know, the Joe McDonough, the Christy Ring, the Larry Maher, the Nicky Rackard in the middle of the Larry Maher and the Christy Ring. And I just think that ability levels are matched off there, and then you see Louth winning last week, and you know, we've really got it right in hurling structures nationally.
Well, that's great to hear, and they've got it right as well with the Ton Ogue and the Cuchulainn Cup and this Celtic Challenge.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this today is proof of that, the games that we're having here as well, and all the talent that's on show, and boys getting up and getting trophies, and more importantly playing at a good level and getting lots of games. And Wicklow Gold has been created, and Kildare Lily Whites, and it's proven really, really successful. And when I spoke to the young lads after the games, I mean, you know, they weren't saying, well, we're not playing for the team that's always been there, or the name that's always been there. It doesn't matter at all. They're getting out and they're representing their counties, and they're really developing their game.
Look at Jerome, we're a games-based association nationally, and I think, you know, we're only coming to the realisation of that in the last decade, that the more games, the more competitions, all the other demands for coaching and coach education and all the other resources get looked for as a result of putting on the games. So I think we might have had the cart before the horse for a while, but yeah, we've enough games on now, and all the players are getting the chance to develop as a result.
Well, this fella is certainly developing, and he is shining today. Robbie Ryan with another cracking point for Tipperary, and it restores their 3-point lead, 7-4, 24 and a half minutes gone. And you're right, I mean, we talk a lot about players and what they think, but it's players who play the game. And I know there was a ladies football game a month ago, and it was supposed to be a meaningless group game between Meath and Dublin in the Leinster Championship, but it turned out to be one of the best games you will ever see. They weren't thinking what label is on this competition. They just get out there and they just enjoy playing.
Oh, absolutely. And I've spent a few years coaching and managing the Galway Senior Camogie as well, and the effort those ladies put in, I know the crowds aren't massive and the whole lot, but I think the whole thing is getting a bit better recognition now, and again, inclusivity and respect. And now the ladies are getting games. They are on as curtain raisers to big important senior hurling matches, and look, that's very important that we keep everyone together. We're the GA family at the end of the day.
Substitute on for you guys. Number 18, Aaron Doyle from Oranmore Murray.
Aaron is actually on the minor football squad, and he's on the minor A football squad. He's a very good athlete, and he's on our minor B hurling, so he's a talented young fella, Aaron.
And is there a clash there? Is that a problem with playing different codes or commitments, and that you've more games? Does that create more problems?
It can, or it can be the reverse. We've a very good understanding in Galway with the academies in hurling and football. We work hand in glove, and the minor managers in both codes work hand in glove, and they share out the player, and the player doesn't have to make any decision, and it's all good.
And on this particular day, Galway obviously feel they need a change in there because they've only got the 4 points so far, and they need a bit more threat in there. But the problem is that this fella here is standing here all the time and just picking up every ball, it seems, that comes in here. He's just dropping in there, Jim Ryan, and they're feeding him all the time, like feeding buns to the bear, as they say, and that's why they have another chance of another score. Now, has that gone to the right and wide? But yeah, that's where it seems to be breaking down a lot. He's just standing in there and not being marked and just eating up all the possession.
I don't know why teams don't mark the sweeper, Jerome, because if the opposition decide this is the man they want free and you don't give them that choice, plan B doesn't always be as successful. But from a coaching perspective, I'd always go and mark the sweeper.
You press up.
Push up, mark the sweeper, yeah.
Yeah, I know there was a turnaround in a game I did a month ago where a team was losing by about 6-7 points, and they just pressed right up, like 4 players on the kick out every time, and they nearly won the game in the end. But it just takes, you have to throw a little bit of caution to the wind.
You do. It changes the game dynamic, like, so if you're not getting the right answers here now, you have to try something different.
But I guess coaches are cautious, especially in the first half, and they just think, well, if we push someone up, then that'll leave a bit of room at the back.
Yeah, in all games, everybody likes to have the numerical advantage at the back. But maybe if you trust your 5 backs on your 5 forwards and go man to man there. But I definitely would have a go at marking the sweeper.
Well, as I look back now, I think there's like 2 Tipperary extra players back there. So what chance have the forwards got? It's gone in there now, but there's 2 Galway men and 4 Tipperary men and another 2 coming in. So they're outnumbered every time, I feel for them.
Tipperary are very, very strong there structurally. Their midfielders are dropping back to help the sweeper as well, and they've got a huge numerical advantage at the back.
Yeah, as you say, they're organised. But then again, maybe Galway are playing into their hands. Substitute went in for Galway, by the way. Ross Finn is in there now as well from Abbotstown. He's wearing 17, so Galway ringing the changes. He's playing around the middle of the field to see at the minute. It's Tipperary.
It's a line ball, yeah.
On the attack, and they're going to bring it all the way back. So 28 minutes gone. We're nearly at half time, and it's Tipperary 7 points, Galway 4 points.
There's only a score in it, Jerome, regardless of who dominated the first half, so it's going to be an interesting second half now.
But when you say only a score in it, you're talking about a goal, and I haven't seen many threats on goal.
Yeah, that's fair. In this game now, nobody has got in there to threaten the goalie at all, but hurling is such a fast game. A blink of an eye, you'll have a shot in the net.
Was that Tyler Earls again with another one of those lovely cuts? It wasn't it Tyler Earls, the number 4 from Sarsfields? Now, down in the far corner from us, that is David McGrath. The referee's given him advantage, and he is fouled maybe 2 times there, but he eventually gets his free, but he's only allowed 1 free.
Yes, we'd have to get some of the Galway defenders a saddle there, I think. That's it.
He's a handful, no doubt about that.
Yeah, they're strong. Both himself there and Robbie at 11. Robbie from the Holy Cross Ballycahill club there. We'd have known about those lads coming in, and they're proving their worth here again today.
Well, that club is providing the backbone of the Tipperary team. The goalkeepers from there, James O'Dwyer, the centre half-back and vice-captain, the midfielder, James Doyle, they're all from that club, so they're well represented, and they're up the middle, which says something as well. So we're coming up to half-time, and we're going to let you pretend, oh, is he going? He looks like he's going low. Oh no, just the way he was hitting it there, I thought that looked like an intent to maybe try and go low, but maybe it's just his style, but he puts it over anyway. I'm going to release you from your commentary duties, but before you do that, what are you going to say? What would you say to Galway at half-time here? What would you say to those young lads?
You'd be just asking everyone for a bigger commitment. This day won't come back to them again, and you're on the bus going home and you're saying, I should have done this and I should have done that. Now's the time to do it in the present moment. And I just think if they change their psychology a little bit, they're not far off the pace here. There's a lot of very good performances and they're hurling well enough, but they're just not converting their scores. And again, the management will definitely be doing something about the Tipperary defence in the second half.
A right old battle on the sideline right down in front of us, and it's Flanagan coming away or trying to come away, but he runs into a maroon wall and is dispossessed, and it's Galway's Niall Feeney sending it up into the corner. But look who's there again. It's Jim Ryan, the spare man for Tipperary again, just picking up the possession as he's done so many times in the first half. Free to Galway. We're in the second minute of added time at the end of the first half. I don't think there were too many stoppages, so probably not much left in this half. But a chance for Galway here to get a score. 3 points down. They could get it back to 2, certainly, but a little bit beyond the range maybe of Killian O'Donovan, but he'll have a crack at least dropping it in and around the house. But so difficult with the wind. You just don't know
he
where
just needs to judge the wind. Killian is a great shot. He has the distance for this, but he just needs to judge the wind. And he's a very reliable free taker.
Well, let's see if he gets it. Steps in a little bit, does connect well, but it looks like it's going right, and it has indeed gone right and wide. But a decent effort and a decent first half as well. Damien Coleman, did you enjoy that?
I did, absolutely, and there's some massive performances here on display and some great young fellas doing themselves justice, and then there's other young fellas here not doing themselves justice, so there's a half an hour now in the second half to get that right for themselves. So I look forward to a good second half, and as we say, there's only a score or two in it, and it's all to play for, Jerome.
And lots of subs out there, I see, looking to get on as well. They'll be chomping at the bit, so lots to play for. An interesting second half to come. We're going to take a little bit of a break now, and we're going to leave you with some interviews we recorded at the launch of these competitions, the Táin Óg, the Cuchulainn Cup and the Celtic Challenge a few weeks ago at this very venue actually, and it was about 6 weeks ago at the start of the competition. So we're going to play those in for you now, so you'll get a little bit more information about what it's all about.
My name is AJ Tully. I am 12 years old and I've been playing hurling for around 8 years.
What about this new competition, the Táin Óg that's come in? What difference do you think it has made?
Makes underage hurling a little more competitive and more fun for some people. And then there's more hurling for them to play, because usually you only be able to play a few clubs around yours instead of going across other places, play other teams from maybe other places in Ireland.
The buzz at training, we played the first evening, as I said, in the Dome, and the buzz at training the next day was just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about your Joe Cannings and these, and I mean, it can drive you mad at times. Every young fella now wants to take sidelines at training, even though, but they got in that Dome, they felt so important, and they were back training. They wanted more. They want more of it.
The Táin Óg, it's... Firstly, I'd have to say it's the biggest games programme in the association. There's over 600 games fixed across 13, 15, 17, leading into this year's inaugural adult Cuchulainn. Again, it's given the club player in the developing hurling county a platform. So when you go into a Leitrim and you have Manor Hamilton, Clooney and Monch in the north of the county, and then you go down to the south of the county and you have St Mary's Carrick. So that county final can be played on one day every year because there's only the two clubs. So when you consider now cross-border, cross-county competition, meaningful games at ability levels, sure, it's a rising tide, to be fair. So the whole philosophy there, again back to being a games-based association, we're now giving the meaningful games opportunities to the players.
Do you feel that your skills are improving and also the numbers are going up?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot more people now. We're Scum Gaels. We've gotten a lot more, because back then we wanted to have about maybe 15 people. Now we've about 30.
Main thing I like about it, there's set evening for it, and it's protected evening, so there cannot be football fixtures, which means we can go ahead with the games, plan games, the player pathway. It's exactly what you want. Our club, we're in it 13s, 15s, 17s, our seniors in it in the Cuchulainn. It's definitely the way forward, definitely, because ultimately, particularly for young boys, what do you like doing? You like playing games. That's what you enjoy. playing matches. It's now structured. We have matches. We tell parents in advance we have matches. It's our evening, and that's just the Tánaóg. We also then have our own competitions as the year goes on. It's all about games at this age.
My name is AJ Tully. I am 12 years old and I've been playing hurling for around 8 years.
What about this new competition, the Tánaóg that's come in? What difference do you think it has made?
Makes underage hurling a little more competitive and more fun for some people. And then there's more hurling for them to play, because usually you only be able to play a few clubs around yours instead of going across other places, play other teams from maybe other places in Ireland.
The buzz at training, we played the first evening, as I said, in the Dome, and the buzz at training the next day was just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about your Joe Cannings and these, you know, and I mean, it can drive you mad at times. Every young fella now wants to take sidelines at training, even though, you know, but they got in that Dome, they felt so important, and they were back training. They wanted more. They want more of it.
The Tánaóg, like, it's, firstly, I'd have to say it's the biggest games programme in the association. There's over 600 games fixed across 13, 15, 17, leading into this year's inaugural adult Cuchulainn. Again, it's given the...
My name is AJ Tully. I am 12 years old and I've been playing hurling for around 8 years.
What about this new competition, the Tánaóg that's come in? What difference do you think it has made?
Makes underage hurling a little more competitive and more fun for some people. And then there's more hurling for them to play, because usually you only be able to play a few clubs around yours instead of going across other places, play other teams from maybe other places in Ireland.
The buzz at training, we played the first evening, as I said, in the Dome, and the buzz at training the next day was just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about your Joe Cannings and these, you know, and I mean, it can drive you mad at times. Every young fella now wants to take sidelines at training, even though, you know, but they got in that Dome, they felt so important, and they were back training. They wanted more. They want more of it.
The Tánaóg, like, it's, firstly, I'd have to say it's the biggest games programme in the association. There's over 600 games fixed across 13, 15, 17, leading into this year's inaugural adult Cuchulainn. Again, it's given the club
Welcome back for the second half of the Corn Michael Hogan Cup final. It's Galway against Tipperary, and the score is 9 points to Tipperary, 4 points to Galway. So 5 in it at the break, and I'm being joined by Damien Coleman now, putting on his headphones. And yeah, 5-point game it is. We thought it was 3, but it's actually a 5-point game, just to clear that up for you. I don't see any changes for Tipperary at the start of the second half, and the referee poised and the players are poised, but there's a few people have to make their way off the pitch. So Alan LeGroux, the referee out there, told me how to pronounce his name properly. Well, I did ask him, and he told me the score is 9 points to 4, 5 in it. But the wind out there in the middle of the pitch is crazy. It's so strong and seems to be going across the pitch, but Tipperary making little of that now and going direct at the start of the game. And if they got a goal, they've got the first goal of the game within what, 9-10 seconds, and that was a brilliant effort. Simon Blackmore from Ballingarry was the man who did all the damage, bursting forward. We see it again here. 2 or 3 men trying to stop him, then he leaves it off, and there is the drive low to the net. I think it was Daniel Rossiter, the captain, who got a great start to the second half for Tip. So whatever you said down there, Damien, didn't work for Galway.
Not yet, anyway.
Super start for them, and
super
real
start.
like a direct play. And we were bemoaning the fact there weren't any goal chances. They must have heard us and they went straight for it.
Super start by Tip, and you know they're good. They're good for the lead they have, to be very fair, Jerome.
Well, that's now put them into an 8-point lead, 1-9 to 4 points, and if that doesn't wake up Galway, nothing will. Let's see what they can do. But Tipperary on the attack again, and that's nice forward play as well. And it's the full forward. He's not going for a score, he's just putting that in there. That's McGrath. It's going to come back out again. And Galway will not like that at all. 5 down and then conceding a goal. So it's really been put up to them now. So we'll see what they're made of. We'll see how they respond. It's all about getting out in front, and this man does that. That's good work by the number 18. That is Aaron Doyle, getting out in front and winning his own ball there, and that's what you need. This is now Killian O'Donovan, and our camera is going to be right behind this one. And as you said, towards the end of the first half, Damien, he's perfectly capable of getting this, although we've seen quite a few efforts in the last couple of games and they've drifted just to the right, so a hard one to judge. Which way does he go? Well, he goes right to the other side, drops it in, and that could have gone anywhere, but Tipperary defending it well so far, and they have managed to quell that danger quite nicely there, but it was beautifully judged by O'Donovan. Just didn't quite have the legs, and I see number 16 being sent in by Galway, so an early change at the start of the second half, and that's Daniel Keane coming into the play.
Daniel, very strong hurler as well. He's a nephew with the great Therese Maher, the Camogie player, so there's loads of hurling there too.
Absolutely, what a player she was. I remember her getting her All-Ireland just before she retired about 6-7 years ago. Well, I think it might have been her second, but it was right at the end of her career, and she went down on her knees at the end of the game in Croke Park. What a player, and a lovely lady as well. This is Robbie Ryan from Tipperary. So Galway, 3 minutes in, have conceded a goal. That's very high.
He has it.
And it's accurate as well. The lead stretched. Oh, Galway have a point, or do they? Did they get a point there? Am I missing that?
No.
No, they haven't had a score. I didn't think they did, but oh, I know what was happening. We added one on the wrong side. That's we've got it right now. 110 to 4 points. 13 plays 4. Seems a long way back for Galway. But if they get their act together, as you say, a couple of scores could change all that, but they really need to get their act together. But it's Tipperary steaming forward with Owen Larkin. He's dispossessed. But Galway just struggling to get their game together, and instead Oisin O'Donoghue from Cashel, the number 4, bursting forward for Tipperary and winning a free.
Yeah, Tipperary are stronger in 90% of the positions there. They're really dominant, and their structure at the back there is the Galway forward just can't break it down. So at the minute, they're value for their lead, Jerome.
So just the 4 points for Galway. and a yellow card for Penny. The man over the ball is Robbie Ryan, and he's been causing a lot of problems for Galway this afternoon. Strikes it well and looks accurate. Has it gone to the left? Or yeah, it's gone just to the left. Remains 110-4, which is a 9-point lead. And Galway goalkeeper Mark Grealish. Ball breaks in the middle. Quickest man to it is Mannion, David Mannion from Ballindereen. And Galway needs something. If they get something to spark them, we might see what they're really made of. And that is an effort going to the right and wide from Niall Feeney, and they're just maybe snatching a little bit at it at the minute. They're just too anxious.
Yeah, it's not happening in any quarter at all, and that was a simple enough shot off the left and just snatched at it, as you said, Jerome, and a very poor wide there from a player of his quality.
Tipperary have made a change. Number 16, Jamie Lahart, is in from Holy Cross Ballycahill as well, and he's replaced Flanagan, who had a very good game. Bill Flanagan.
I'd suspect young Flanagan is injured because it wasn't his performance would say that he stays on the field, so he must be carrying an injury because he's a very strong young fella.
Well, there is a medic beside him, and he's taken one of his boots off, so maybe there is a bit of treatment being administered there. You're probably right. Now, this is a man who caused a lot of the damage right at the start of the half. He created the goal, and now he scored a point as well. That's Simon Blackmore from Ballingarry. Lovely point from him, and just striding through the middle. He always takes the direct route, and it's now 111-4. That's a 10-point game now. Long way back for Galway, but Damien, do you think they're capable if they get a bit of a run on this?
They're capable of getting scores for sure. 24 or 5 points against Cork in a semi-final is not reflective today in 4 or 5 points so far. So, but I just think overall you've got a very strong Tipperary team there, and it's going to be very hard to overturn that there now, no matter what you do.
And it's now gone to an 11-point game. Just checking on YouTube, by the way. There's a live chat area there if anybody wants to send a message in or make a comment. Tipperary rampant at the minute, and it's Ryan off his left side from distance. Puts it wide though. He'd be disappointed with that one, but he had loads of room there, Damien, didn't he? Loads of room.
He did. He's been afforded too much room. A quality player like that, you have to be on top of him. You have to keep pressing.
It's David Mannion now for Galway, trying to get them going. Puts it into the corner, but the man quickest to it is Oisin O'Donoghue from Cashel. Galway managed to get possession here. They managed to sneak that one. Number 18 is Aaron Doyle coming inside. Gets a free. And they could really do with a point, needless to say. Just the 4 points on the board after 38 minutes. It's not a great showing, and maybe it says a lot about Tipperary.
Yeah, they're underperforming, to be fair. Just one back there now from Killian Donovan.
Make that 5 points now. James O'Dwyer is the goalkeeper from Holy Cross Ballycahill, and he's dropped it just over halfway, and it's just not happening at all for Galway. Cathal Penny there thought he had it, but it dropped into the arms of his opponent, who are steaming forward now. This is Kieran Grace. They're playing with a bit of a swagger, a bit of confidence. They think they have this one. And Galway unable really to do much about it at the minute. This is Ryan showing all the tricks and holding possession as well, and McGrath puts it out. Number 16 is Lahart, who's come in trying to make an impact, drops it back across goals, but he just gives it straight to Conor Fahy. And as I say, nothing is happening, and that little cameo there shows that for Galway. They're struggling just to get up the pitch at all. And Tipperary looking at bringing in number 15, and that is Derek Kelly. Wearing 15, but he's only coming in now. He didn't start the game. He's from Aerogue Anacardi. Derek Kelly, 15. You'll know him as well, Damien.
Oh, absolutely.
And what do you think he can bring? They're putting him in. Where are they putting him in? Corner forward?
Corner forward. We've Ian Kenny gone on the Galway team there from the Leitrim Killadema club. And
21.
Ian is a guy who gets a couple of points in every match, so.
Well, they could do with that right now. He's come in. Turquoise boots as well. But it's this man, Blackmore. He's having a great second half, and he did this for the goal. It's going to work again. Oh my goodness, a carbon copy of the first goal. Blackmore set it up, laid it off exactly the same way, and the finish was exquisite. A second goal for Tipperary, and they are really running away with this one. And it was Dara Kelly who sent it to the net, and I believe he's only on the pitch, what, about 10 seconds?
Yeah. He had a big impact early.
Absolutely, and he's involved again, and this is McGrath. That's definitely. Oh, he's trying again. Nearly got a second goal in a minute. That's definitely what you call an impact sub. Mannion for Galway. They look a bit shell-shocked at the minute, and they're unable just to do the simple things easily at the minute. Everything seems to be difficult when you're this far behind.
Yeah, I think they're playing for pride now at the minute, just to do themselves a bit of justice, because they're better than what's been produced, Sharon. But I think, it's a step too far to think there's a win for anybody only Tipperary here at the minute.
Yeah, even there you saw the number 5, Kelly, going for a catch, which he probably would have made on any other day quite easily. It's just not coming together for them, whereas Tipperary are throwing the ball around and really enjoying themselves, and this guy Ryan just cannot be contained. 2-11 plays 5 points after nearly 42 minutes of the game. And you were telling me that Galway this year, you've just the one team, and at other years you'd have 2 or 3 teams. And in the semi-final, I mean, you beat Clare, you scored 320 in the semi-final, is that right?
The semi-final was against Cork, below in Coachford, one of the Cork squads. And it was a 26 scores. But we went extra time the lot. But yeah, this is a different game, different animal here today in Tipperary. Tipperary very physical. We traditionally have, lovely games against Cork. Not the huge emphasis on physicality, both teams going at it, but Tipperary are combining everything here: physicality, strength, power, hurling ability, technically very good.
You sure they haven't sent down their A team?
I'm wondering how good their A team for non-Ireland minor semi-final is if this is their B team.
This is Blackmore again. Oh, that's lovely play coming out of defence by O'Donoghue. Owen Larkin, number 5 in there. Blackmore involved. Galway, to their credit, sticking at it, but it looks like Larkin's making the most impact, but eventually who's going to get it? Referee's going to have to sort that one out. It's Penny on the ground. You could say the penny dropped.
Yeah, Cahill. A good hurler, very athletic young fella. He's very close to making the minor A panel, so he was.
Blocked down, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Tipperary. And that was Galway's Aaron Doyle with the block. He's wearing 18, and he's given it to the Tipperary 18, that's Shane Buckley, who will take this sideline cut. Lovely surface here, so no excuses, and he doesn't need any. That's a beautiful connection, and it's beautifully taken as well. Oh, and a lovely pass, and that is from Kelly. What an impact he has made, and he's left it off to Robbie Ryan. Oh my goodness, that is a gorgeous goal. Absolutely beautiful play, and he's hurt a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He comes back out, and he deserves the applause, because that was lovely play all the way from the sideline. Cut top quality play by this Tipperary team.
The vision of young Kelly there, he had way more years in him than what that passage of play produced. And then Bobby, young Ryan there, sure, he's top class finisher, but the vision there was, it reminds you of a Seamus Canlan.
I love the way he improvised as well to get the pass away.
Oh, brilliant.
And he's only on the pitch 5 minutes. He
God.
scored one goal, he set one up, and he nearly got another one.
Yeah. If you have subs of that quality, Jerome.
on their B team.
My God.
This fellow Ryan is struggling on. He's had an injury, but he's happy to keep going. They brought off David McGrath, their full forward, Tipperary. And is it 12 who's in there? Anthony Walsh. I think he's the man who's come in. Another of the guys who didn't start the game, even though he was named in the first 15. But he's in there now, and that ball is directed towards him, but it's intercepted by Mannion. And he's fouled. So we're at the 3-quarter mark in the game. Seems a while since Galway have been on the attack. That'll be a free for a foul on Ross Finn from Cabatagal. They take it quickly. Goalkeeper comes out and plucks that. James O'Dwyer.
Yeah, very clever interception.
Another free for Galway. 3-12 plays 5 points. Considering it was 9-5 at 9-4 rather at half time. So they piled on 3-3 to a point in the second half.
Just powered into the second half there, took their opportunities, and the game is out of sight, to be very fair.
Then they went at it right from the start. Goal within about 10 seconds. Now number 3 coming on, and that's Joey Davis for Tipperary. Cashel King Cormac's as well. Same club as Oisin O'Donoghue. And indeed Anthony Walsh and David McGrath. Number 5 is coming off for Tip. That's Owen Larkin from Roscrea. He's had a good day. Job done. Now, what can Galway do? It's a good block by the number 19 for Tipperary, and that is Kieran Purcell. One man down, and there's a ball in there somewhere as well, and the referee decides the wisest thing is to throw it in. Galway rolling on a few more subs. 24 and 20 going in for Galway now. 24 is Barry Ford, 20 is Daniel Cosgrove from Annadown, and Barry Ford from Liam Mellows in Galway City. They may as well empty the bench.
Yeah, look, we've a really good management team there. They'll be very disappointed with this performance. The young fellas will be disappointed themselves with it as well, but it's important now to give everybody an opportunity to play.
And that management team for Galway: Damien Curley, William Burke, Adrian McGrath and Michael Gallagher. Now that looks dangerous, but the keeper batted it away. He's not going to be caught out there. He's been very good in this game. And Tipperary clear their lines, but it might come right back at them. And there is certainly intent here. Now the big fella, 24, and is that it? No, I think the keeper saved it on the line. Pulled on it close in. It looked to be a certain goal. Galway 24, he's only on the field there. Barry Ford made an impact and very, very close, but I think the keeper got it.
Yeah, he made a great save. He got down low to his right. But just young Niall Feeney there from Carnmore in Galway, he's been an inspiration there all day. He's done himself real justice, and he can be proud of his performance there on what can only be described as a poor performance overall from the team.
It just hasn't happened for them at all. They were in it in the first half, but it just was really gone away from them in the second half. And to their credit, they are still pressing and trying to do something, even though the decision is not going to be theirs. We're into the last 11 minutes now. 3-12 plays 6 points. There's an effort from an awkward angle. Has he measured it? He has, you know. That's a lovely point. There haven't been many highlights, but that is one of them, and that was Aaron Doyle.
Yeah, that's the minor footballer as well. He's a talented young fella.
Tipperary have sent in number 20. That's Andrew Irwin from Cashel King Cormacs. So they're emptying their bench as well, giving these lads experience of playing in an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, it's lovely for Tipperary. They're now being able to bring on everybody, knowing they have the result secured. So that's very fair of their management team.
And their management team to name them. Just keeping an eye on the game here. Don't want to miss anything while I'm doing this, because there's quite a few names. Aidan Stakelum, Damien Ryan, John Ryan, Andy Ryan, Kevin Halley and Paddy Malone, all helping out Tipperary. So good big management panels on both sides. Lots of people involved, and that's what you need to see and what you do see these days. And in fact, you usually see bigger teams than that. That's probably not counting the medics and everything else.
I think, Jerome, the Celtic Challenge too throws up a lovely blend of management. It's, you know, the full-time staff mixed with volunteer staff and everyone working together, and I think that's the way it should be. But that's what the Celtic Challenge Cup gives you in management.
Is that another point for Tip? It is. They seem to be able to score almost at ease.
Ah, yeah, it will. And that young fella there that came on, that Dara Kelly from the Airog and Carty, he set the world alight since he came on. He's a future hurler for Tip.
No doubt about that. They've had a few Kellys down the years that haven't done too badly for them. And there's another score for Tipperary, 2 in about 20 seconds. And they just stretched their lead again.
Seem to have a very strong panel, Tipperary. The subs haven't weakened at all. If anything, they've added to the whole
Absolutely.
structure.
Well, that was James Lahart there who got that one, but the fella Kelly, my goodness. What a talent. Good strong play by Joey Davis. Eventually dispossessed though. Galway go on the attack at the other end, and they get a free in. Strong play by Evan Brady from St Thomas's. Number 22 in there, and 23 is in as well. That's Alex O'Flynn from Ardrahan. The referee asking for the ball to be brought back for this free to be taken. And Tipperary sending in their 22. That's Conor Cooney. And he comes in for the number 9, James Doyle, who gets a round of applause. Well deserved for his efforts today. Free will be taken now by the Galway number 18 Aaron Doyle, who put one over from play from a slightly worse angle than this, but he's looking to see if there's anyone up for a short one to see if they can try to catch Tipperary out, but there's not much chance of that. Well, he does still try to go towards the goal, but it's easily blocked by the first man. That was good play by him, the centre half back Jim Ryan, vice captain. That's now resulted in an effort at the other end. Going to drop short, I think, and indeed it does, from Conor Cooney. Mark Grealish dealt with it. So not quite the rip-roaring final we were hoping for.
Yeah, and I kind of expected it to be at a higher level than this now from Galway, but Tipperary.
Oh, what a catch. Is that fella Kelly again?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, he's got all the tricks.
He's a gifted young fella, all right.
O'Donoghue for Tipperary. He's had a strong game in there as well for his team and gets it back. Sends it into the Galway half. Tip ball. Two more changes for Tipperary. 23 and 25 are in. That's Luke Ryan, number 23, and Emmett Ralph, number 25, from Durlas Og. Referee holding play up a little bit because there's another one going on. 24, Daniel McAllister from Drum Inch. I think they've changed the goalkeeper as well, Tipperary.
They're so far ahead now, they've got the luxury to do all this, but again, under rules.
No, I didn't say they'd taken their goalkeeper off. They've just replaced them in case you're thinking they're being that cocky now.
Absolutely. But under rule, having, allowing all the subs in rather than just 5 in a normal setting, I think that's an advantage of this competition as well. It gives everyone an opportunity.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the first game, whereas before, if you've only got 5 subs and say they're used by the 40th minute, then everybody knows they're not going to get on. But this way, everybody can get a game. And they've now put on 21 Jack Bergen and 27 Danny Quinn from Silvermines. I think that's just about everybody for Tipperary.
They might have their best team on the field now, Jerome.
I know, it looks a bit like that, doesn't it? See number 8 out there. It looks like he's coming off down in front of us. That's Kieran Grayson. He really is a super hurler. In fact, there's a comment on the Facebook live chat commending him, saying he's an incredible hurler.
Proved that there today.
Really good performance. Point for Galway. And we're into the last 5 minutes. Now, I know, Damien, this is kind of torture for you in a way, because you're with Galway, and it's difficult to do co-commentary anyway, but it's more difficult when your team just isn't turning up on the day and you've such high hopes and you've been coaching them. But I'm going to make it even worse for you, I'm afraid, because we get you to name a few contenders and pick somebody for what we call the best and fairest award, not the player of the match, but the best and fairest. So if you can have a think about that over the next minute or two, I'll come back to you, and then that award will be given out after the game. We will stay on the live stream to have that on air, so you'll see the presentations. A little bit of an edge to the game now. There's a little shoulder here and there with a little bit of frustration as well.
There's no need, at this stage. No, there's no need, but there's not much in it, to be very fair.
And I have a feeling that the organisers are going to be coming looking for a player of the match or a best and fairest, and we'll take your contenders now, and they're waiting for your decision.
Well, just from Galway there, Niall Feeney definitely deserves. From Carnmore there, number 9, he's been on an awful lot of ball, and with the game gone the way it has gone, he's still hurling his heart out to the very end. That's Simon Blackmore there, number 10 from the Ballingarry club in Tipperary, definitely deserves to be in contention.
Second half. Brilliant second half.
He was actually a good team player, support team player there in the first half as well on the far wing, but had a Trojan game. I thought the number 6 there, Jim Ryan, all through, but then again, when you're free, but he was well able to play the position, and he covered the line, and he did himself justice as he did the team. And for me there as well, Robbie Ryan from Holy Cross Ballycahill, the number 11 there from Tipperary, he's been at it all day from the start to the end. And
of course, the captain Rossiter made a good impact as well. And then you had Dara Kelly with his cameo
absolutely.
As well. So a lot of good performances there. But you're not going to get away, I'm afraid, with just naming a whole lot. We have to press you for one.
Yeah, I thought Robbie Ryan there caused a lot of trouble all day from the Holy Cross Ballycahill club. And he hurled his heart out from start to finish, and he was a great leader. And he took on scores there early when nobody was taking on scores. So yeah, my player of the game there would be Robbie Ryan from Holy Cross Ballycahill.
Best and fairest, number 11 for Tipperary, Robbie Ryan, Holy Cross Ballycahill, and he scored that last goal as well.
He did, yeah.
Now, it was made by Kelly, but he really finished it, and he was on one leg nearly at the time as well, but he still got through. So 59th minute now, Tipperary 3-14, Galway 8 points, and they're looking for more. Tipperary, and they get another one. 3-15. Big score for Tipperary, or is it just because Galway have only scored the 8 points that it looks bigger? Really nice catch there by the number 20 for Tipperary, that's Andrew Irwin. Galway taking it quickly, trying to catch Tipperary, trying to get through. The big fella's bustling his way through again, nearly got through to his credit, and he puts the keeper over the line, but not the ball. Good strong play though by 24
Barry Ford, yeah, from Lee Mellows.
They get a 65 out of it, but to Tipperary's credit, their defence has not conceded a goal, and they've closed the door a lot, and there was 6-7 players back there. Even when they're this far ahead, they're still working hard. '60th minute of the game. Now that's going to drop in and around the danger area, nearly batted back in again, but goes wide. Just not happened today for Galway, but as you say, they're better than this.
Yeah, look at them. They'll be disappointed for sure. Turn up to a Celtic Challenge Cup final in Dublin and underperform. But, you know, that's character building too, Jerome. So let them be disappointed, let them go away and reflect, and let them get it right again for future times. So disappointment today from the on behalf of the management and on behalf of the players. But again, you know, let them go away, let them self-reflect, and let them improve on their standard.
That ball's nearly ended up in the crowd. In fact, has ended up in the crowd. I hope people were watching there, because the puck out went straight over the line, over the fence and into the crowd.
There's more drama off the field than there is on it at the minute, Ron.
Eventually the slitter comes back in, and the cup is being prepared. You'll probably see it in the shot there. You can indeed. That's the number 16 for Tipperary. Jamie Lahart prepares to take this cut. The best and fairest award there as well. Nice connection. So we're just playing out the game here, but what can they do now? This is Anthony Walsh looking to get a little score of his own. Has he got it?
Yeah.
Nice score by Anthony Walsh from Cashel King Cormacs, making it 3-16. And there is the final whistle, putting Galway out of their agony. Tipperary have won this, and they have won it well. They have won the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge Corn Michael Hogan Cup final with a comprehensive victory, 3-15 to 8 points. I'll check again with the referee at the end. We got it slightly wrong at the end of the first half, so I'll go out and check it with him there. But certainly no doubt about the winner. No doubt that Tipperary have been the best team out there, and they are going to bring both teams over and have the presentation down in front of us here. I see Kieran getting that ready, and Kieran McLaughlin, the other Kieran, two Kierans out there. Kieran McLaughlin is the Ulster GAA president. He will make the presentations, and we already know the best and fairest award is going to Robbie Ryan, because Damien Coleman has picked that. But just to sum it up, Damien, I know it's disappointing from a Galway point of view, but the overview really, as I said in the programme, it says changing the hurling landscape. The player pathway is important. These competitions have been here since 2016, and there's something like 39 teams involved this year from 29 counties. You've 3 still to get to, mind you. I'm not going to name them, but about 1,000 young hurlers involved overall. So there's a bigger picture here.
Absolutely, and you know, initially it was a tournament for the developing hurling counties, and then to include 32 County Ireland, the Tier 1 counties were invited in regions. So the whole thing has developed. It's on the hurling landscape now. It's part of the master fixtures plan, and every young fella every year now is talking about the Celtic Challenge Cup if they're not on the minor A squad in their own county. So it's a tournament of note. It gives huge development opportunities, and again, these young fellas at 17 years of age, win or lose, especially losing, you'll be disappointed, but there's a great opportunity for you to go and get all that right now in the future years. But these games are character building. The Galway lads there will be hugely disappointed they didn't bring their A game to the table today, Jerome, but at the end of the day, they're only young men, 17 years of age. This is a good experience, and we say character building for the future.
There's the young fella who you picked for player of the match, or rather the best and fairest award. Sorry, that's what the award actually is today, and it's deliberately named that. And I wonder, looking at that young Tipperary man, in a way, are these competitions we've seen here at Abbotstown as important as the games in Croke Park this afternoon, the Joe McDonagh Cup final and the Leinster Senior Hurling Championship final, in a development sense? Kieran just turning around with Robbie there to get the photograph taken. We'll let Kieran do the talking from here on, because he's about to present the cup.
It's more an honour to Queen Corn Michael Hogan. Sweden, the captain, Tipperary,
He's looking for the captain of the Tipperary team. It's number 13, Daniel Rossiter.
Not very good.
I think he got the goal right at the start of the second half, made by Blackmore, and he comes over to get the cup now from Kieran McLaughlin, Ulster GEA president. They get their photograph taken, and Kieran's very good at obliging and getting them to turn around for our cameras as well, so hopefully he'll do that as well. And he does indeed. We give him the thumbs up. Thank you, Kieran. And Kieran, I think, is in a hurry to get to Croke Park. There are a lot of people around here as Daniel takes the cup away to his team, raises it in the air, and it's been called back for a quick word. To Daniel Roster from Durlas Oak.
Thanking all the managers selected there for the year: Andy, David, Paddy, John, Kevin, Ed. I suppose it was a short year, but they put everything they had into it to help us out for the year. I'd like to thank. I suppose lads don't make minors. Sometimes we put down.
Problems with the audio, I'm afraid, with the microphone cutting in and out.
I'd like to thank the boys I trained all year for helping us all out. I suppose we really have to. Some lads have no interest in it, but we all do. And I'd like to say fair play to Galway for giving us a good
So he's
game.
praised his own group of players for their efforts all year, and now he's giving some words of consolation to Galway.
Fair play to you. 3 games for Galway. Hip.
And that's it. Tipperary, the winners of the Electric Ireland Corn Michael Hogan for 2022. It's been a great day of games here, and we've been privileged and honoured to bring it to you on the live streams. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and we hope it raises the profile of these competitions. And of course, don't forget about the Cuchulainn Cup as well, and the Tánaóg as well. Brilliant competitions that, as the programme says today, is changing the hurling landscape. From us all in Abbotstown, it's goodbye.